worry every time you leave your dog home alone? Well, you could try to invent a pet parent replacement robot specifically designed to help your dog feel less alone.
Good doggy.
Or you could simply plug in some Thunder Ease. Thunder Ease helps your dog feel calm during the scary stuff like fireworks, thunder, or being alone. Available in a calming diffuser, spray, or collar. Thunder Ease is drug-free, vet-recommended, and 100% guaranteed. So ease their anxiety with Thunder Ease.
My advice is to stay hydrated because it's about to get real sad.
Tomorrow on ET, saying goodbye to This Is Us, what the cast is doing next. Hey, before we go, Giselle graces the June cover of British Vogue, and she's also opening up about her most iconic looks.
This was a Dior dress. Leo was getting the nomination, and he was my boyfriend at the time. It was nice to experience that once in a lifetime. You look good. Okay, let's just think about this. I am not an actress. I never had an acting class. It was cute to have my daughter, recognizing me for the 2 seconds I was on screen. Oh.
Happening now.
A senior prank gone way too far. The school district saying multiple groups of students roaming around New Braunfels High School last night, leaving behind a huge mess. We talked with a student who says he was there.
Coming up, the rivalry between Texas A&M and Alabama just got elevated to a personal feud between these two head coaches over cheating allegations.
And I have a combination you might like. Cooler temperatures and higher rain chances. We're going to talk about it in just a bit. The news at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, a senior prank gone way too far last night at New Braunfels High School.
The students going beyond toilet paper, reportedly throwing eggs and meat around the school.
Garrett Berger joins us now live from New Braunfels High School. And Garrett, it sounds like a big stinky mess over there.
All right, apparently we're...
It's groupthink, because most of the students were good. They weren't there to cause any harm.
Hank Boatwright said he came out to New Braunfels High School Wednesday night for a senior prank. One of more than 100 kids, he estimated.
We were going to go inside the school and have some fun, blow up some balloons and throw some toilet paper.
But things escalated quickly.
You could see people throwing meat, eggs at the walls, and a lot of vandalism. I got out once I realized stuff was going downhill.
Pictures circulating among students show a mess inside the school. And a screenshot of what appears to be a New Braunfels police email was posted on social media, detailing the eggs and meat, as well as other damages, like stolen trophies, drains clogged with instant mashed potatoes, and flooding from tied-down water fountains. A police spokesman said he could not confirm or deny the information since it was an ongoing investigation. But the department did say officers were called out to the school and found a crowd of people who scattered. But they were able to detain a, quote, relatively large number who were identified and then released from the scene.
I think when everyone's with their friends, they just kind of think it's funny to go crazy. And so people just got out of hand.
All right, that was our Garrett Berger reporting. Obviously, we're having some technical problems there with his live shot. Let's move on to other news now.
We can say, though, that the New Braunfels Police Department is investigating this, and we will bring you more as soon as it becomes available.
Well, 2 men killed at the start of the month. Their killer still not found. It's why Crime Stoppers is asking for your help.
These are the victims, 41-year-old Rick Zuniga and 18-year-old Abel Sagreto. The two were killed back on May 1st inside a laundry room at the Arbors on Rustleaf. This is on the southwest side, not too far from Pearsall Park.
Officers were actually called there for shots fired. They arrived to find the 2 men with multiple gunshot wounds. At the time, no witnesses came forward. The police department certainly hoping that will change. They're asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP.
San Antonio police also looking for this man. They say he assaulted someone, then stole items from the Amigos Food Mart on South Zarzamora and Brady. That's near Highway 90 on the west side. According to SAPD, the man started to throw things in the store. Then he started throwing punches to a man's face, then took off with stuff without paying.
A man facing charges after police say he cut another man overnight. This was at the Flats apartment on Perrin-Bottle Road. It's between Loop 410 and Wurzbach Parkway.
Officers say an argument between the 2 men ended with one of them with a cut on his face and his arm. The victim was treated at the scene. The suspect taken away in handcuffs. The man accused of killing 10 people inside a Buffalo supermarket set to appear in court again next month. He faced a judge today and pleaded not guilty to murder. But ABC's Alex Christoforous reports there may be more charges to come.
Wearing an orange jumpsuit, white face mask, and shackles, mass shooting suspect Peyton Gendron appeared before the judge, while relatives of some of the 10 black people he's charged with killing in a Buffalo supermarket heckled him.
Peyton, you're a coward.
Surrounded by heavy security, the 18-year-old suspect, who has pleaded not guilty, remained silent throughout the hearing, which lasted just a few minutes before it was rescheduled for next month. A grand jury indicting Gendron on a first-degree murder charge, but authorities continue to investigate the possibility of adding new charges, including hate crimes and terrorism. The FBI is poring over Gendron's social media posts, which appear to suggest the self-professed white supremacist was radicalized online during the early days of the pandemic. Congressional leaders today vowing to combat hate crimes.
We cannot continue to turn a blind eye to white supremacist vigilantes. It impacts all of us.
And earlier this week, the Homeland Security Secretary calling the issue one of our nation's top priorities.
Domestic violent extremism is one of the greatest terrorism-related threats that we face in the homeland.
As for Peyton Gendron, his next court appearance is set for June 9th. Meantime, Buffalo's mayor says the law enforcement investigation inside the grocery store is now complete, and Top Supermarket says it is committed to rebuilding and reopening as soon as possible. Alexis Christoforous, ABC News, New York.
It's a skill you may not think you need till you do. We're talking about trauma-related emergencies or times where you need to stop the bleed. Today, University Health and our KSAT community partners held free classes to teach people these life-saving skills. They learned about compressing a wound, adding pressure till help arrives, using a tourniquet, and packing wounds when needed.
You see someone is bleeding, we're stuffing this gauze in here until we can't put any more. And then once we can't do that, we're just going to apply pressure and we're going to hold it in place.
You can read more about the Stop the Bleed initiative right now at KSAT.com.
This just in, WIC recipients are soon going to be able to use their benefits to purchase any brand of baby formula. The Senate approving that bill today. It now heads to the president's desk.
The news comes as the nation's largest baby formula factory poised to reopen, getting more stock on the shelves in the coming weeks. ABC's Ike Ijochi in Washington with the latest.
Today, Dr. Robert Califf, the head of the Food and Drug Administration, speaking to lawmakers about the current baby formula shortage affecting families across the country.
I drove 3 hours away the other day to even get some milk for my son to San Jose.
Califf told lawmakers that Abbott Nutrition, the shuttered baby formula factory in Sturgis, Michigan, could be up and running soon, pending safety upgrades and certifications.
I'm pleased to say today we've already made significant progress, and I think we are on track to get open within the next week to 2 weeks.
In February, the FDA shut down the Abbott plant due to unsanitary conditions at the facility. It was potentially linked to 2 infants dying and 2 others getting sick. Abbott saying the FDA and CDC found no conclusive evidence to the claim. Members of a House Appropriations Subcommittee asking Califf why the FDA didn't step in last fall when there were signs of problems at Abbott's plant.
It makes me question which side the FDA is on. Are they on the side of Abbott and industry or on the side of the American consumer?
Califf said he couldn't say much due to an ongoing investigation into the issues, several lawmakers rejecting that response. It comes as the Federal Trade Commission issued a new alert warning consumers about potential scammers looking to take advantage of the current formula shortage.
Someone is claiming to sell that product, and once that money is paid out and once that order is placed, they never end up receiving that product.
Califf says once the Abbott facility resumes production, it can take up to 2 months for their formula to hit store shelves. Ike Ijochi, ABC News, Washington.
But in the meantime, the commissioner this afternoon promised to have more formula on the shelves in the next 2 to 3 days, flying it in from overseas. If you need some help finding formula, it's out there. The San Antonio nonprofit Any Baby Can is offering to help. Right now on KSAT.com, you can read more about what they're doing, why they're switching up their mission to help more families during this crisis.
Let's check out TransGuide, your traffic authority right now. This is I-10 at Pressa, and you can see it is heavy in both directions, but no major traffic tie-ups to tell you about. Well, Texas A&M head football coach Jimbo.
Yes, we do have to do some weather.
Fisher against Saban.
We'll get into that in just one moment. I do want to point out this is a day where we did not break a record high temperature. I just got the latest, and our high temperature today, 98 degrees. It's still unofficial, as we can sometimes gain another degree, but that's likely to be 98, maybe 99 for the high today. The record being 101. Lakey 97, Eagle Pass 99, Del Rio now at 102, Seguin at 95. It's more of the same, mostly well into the 90s, very summer-like outside. As we go through the evening, warm, near 90 at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, increasing humidity and 81 degrees. But I have a combination I think a lot of us are looking forward to. Lower temperatures, higher rain chances. We're going to talk about it all in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Adam. Weather cooling off, a rivalry heating up. Texas A&M head football coach Jimbo Fisher blasted former boss Nick Saban as a narcissist in an explosive news conference today in College Station.
Most of us have never seen anything like it. All of this coming after the Alabama coach and SEC rival accused the Aggies of buying everyone of their players in order to beat out the Crimson Tide for the best recruiting class in the nation.
With more on this rivalry that's now been elevated to an all-out feud, let's check in with our Greg Simmons.
Yeah, there is no question this is the most angry we've ever seen Jimbo Fisher. Just hours after Saban accused the Aggies of cheating under the new name, image, and likeness rule to obtain the best recruiting class ever, Fisher called a news conference in College Station to unload on Saban while defending his program.
We never bought anybody. No rules were broken. Nothing was done wrong. It was all and the way we do things, the ethics in which we do things. And these families, it's despicable that a reputable head coach could come out and say this when he doesn't get his way or things don't go his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow those things to happen, and it's ridiculous. But when he's not on top, and the parity in college football he's been talking about, go talk to coaches who coach for him. You'll find out all the parity. Go dig into wherever he's been. You can find out anything. And it's a shame that you got to sit here and defend 17-year-old kids and families. And Texas A&M, because we do things right, we're always going to do things right.
And Jimbo was just getting warmed up. We have more of what Fisher had to say about Saban, and we'll even let you hear the Alabama coach's cheating accusation he made last night. That's all coming up live in sports.
Incredible. All right, still to come at 5. Ever heard of a juice cleanse? It's become more popular for things like weight loss and detoxing. But does it work? What you should know before spending money on these costly cleanses. You're watching the news at 5. We'll be right back.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the KSAT newsroom with a preview of what to expect tonight on the news at 6 o'clock. A capital murder trial pitting two brothers against each other. Nathan Valdez was shot while sitting at a bus stop in 2016. 5 years later, Eduardo Torres on trial despite claiming his brother Leonard Torres committed the crime. Erica Hernandez shows you the interrogation video played inside the courtroom today. Plus, you might know someone who's dealing with it right now. COVID cases, they are climbing in San Antonio. We talked to Dr. Ruth Berggren in our KSAT Q&A today. We're answering your questions about Paxlovid, booster shots for kids, and more. And from COVID to another virus people are dealing with right now, adenovirus. It's suspected to cause hepatitis in some children. How it's spreading and what you need to be doing a lot to keep those germs away. All that and more coming your way tonight on the news at 6.
Thank you, Myra. New at 5, juice cleansing. It's trendy and a lot of people swear by it. If you're not familiar with it, juicing involves exclusively consuming only extracted juice from fruits and vegetables for a couple of days so that you can lose some pounds and flush toxins out of your body. But does it work? And is it safe? 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz takes a look.
Jim Schwab juice cleanses his body about 3 times a year, not to lose weight, but to kickstart healthy habits.
I use it as a way to kind of reset my body when I get into bad habits, snacking and over-portioning, sugar maybe, too much caffeine.
The juicing trend has been around for a while, but the cold-pressed juice market is expected to increase by some $116 million in the next 3 years. A 5-day cleanse can cost anywhere from $125 to more than $400, all for the promise of helping you feel and look better.
You feel more consistent. Your mind is much clearer because you're generally sleeping better. You generally feel better.
If you think about it, it makes sense. If you're not eating a lot of fruits and vegetables and then you suddenly start drinking them, that burst of nutrients can make you feel really good.
But Consumer Report says there's no scientific evidence juicing is actually good for you.
The natural sugar in fruit juice can be digested really quickly, and that ups your blood sugar levels, which can give you a burst of energy.
The lower calories can help shed pounds, but CR says it's likely water loss and likely to return. As for the claims of detoxing your body,
your body already detoxes itself. It uses your kidneys, your liver, and your digestive tract to get rid of impurities. Nutrients in fruits and vegetables can help with that, but juicing leaves the fiber behind, and that's key for a healthy gut.
That's why Jim caps off his juice days with salads. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Live cam right now, 97 degrees. We did not, I repeat, not break a record today.
And that's a record for this week.
You're right. We had 5 days in a row of record heat around here, but today broke the streak. We could have another record on Saturday, so the streak's not really coming to an end until we get to Sunday. At that point, high temperatures in the lower 80s and rain chances are on the rise. That's the key here. We like to see this. This is a nice combination. Temperatures going down, rain chances going up. Just 20% the next couple of days, up to 40% by Sunday. And still the most promising looking day is Tuesday in terms of good, widespread, soaking, heavier showers with some thunderstorms. So let's get right to it. First, we're going to start with the temperatures. The cold front that's headed our way, it's finally on the map. It has moved in from Canada. Look at Casper, Wyoming at 32 degrees, Bismarck, North Dakota 51, parts of Montana at 36, but then you get ahead of the cold front in the warm air, and we're still in the 80s and 90s. Well, that cooler air will be pushing southward. It's going to make it here. It's just going to take some time till it actually arrives. Cotulla 102 along with Eagle Pass and Laredo. Those are some of the hot spots. Dryden 104, Junction 102. The rest of us mostly in the 90s, some upper 80s, of course, closer to the Gulf Coast line. Officially 97 in town here. Port SA 97, Boerne right now at 91, and Converse checking in at 95. Tomorrow morning, most of us low to mid 70s, so a little above average for this time of year, but that's been the trend all month, and we're used to that. But 73 Rio Medina at sunrise, 75 Stinson and Boerne 71. By tomorrow afternoon, more heat right up near 100. We're thinking 98 Converse and Rio Medina, Helotes about 95, Bulverde, Timberwood Park 95 degrees, but still just shy of the record tomorrow. Saturday, we're forecasting 98. That would tie the record high temperature. But look what happens on Sunday. We're down to near 80 for the high temperature. A combination of that cool front moving in and clouds and a few showers and thunderstorms should keep our temperatures at bay. Wouldn't even surprise me if we have highs in the upper 70s in parts of our area on Sunday. Mind-blowing, isn't it, after what we've had? And then we get through the rest of the next week, and most of it's going to be in the 80s and actually a few degrees below average for this time of year. So let's talk about the upper level pattern that's going to be changing things and mixing things up. First of all, this big upper level swirl here over northern Mexico, that's our next upper disturbance, and that's going to be pushing eastward. We don't have a lot of confidence in this breaking through the cap in the atmosphere tomorrow, but it could, so we're giving it that 20% chance. It's one of those all or nothing situations. It's going to be one of those game time decisions to see the trends and the patterns and what's going to happen. But right now we don't have a whole lot of confidence of something developing. But if it does, it would likely be strong to severe. Sunday, the cold front currently moving through parts of the plains, that's going to make it here, bring in some of that cooler air and give us another chance of more showers and thunderstorms. And then we get into next week on Tuesday, and a third system, an upper level system, moves in. Now, this cold front's actually pretty interesting Denver, for example, I was talking to my friend who's a meteorologist there, 90 degrees today, but 9 inches of snow on the way behind that cold front, just like that. So around here, here's our forecast for tomorrow. 74 in the morning, mostly cloudy, then a mixture of sun and clouds the rest of the day. 97 the high temperature, about 4 or 5 p.m. and just that 20% chance into the afternoon and early evening. Most likely very isolated. Again, one of those conditional situations. A few pop-ups possible on Saturday, 20%. Better odds on Sunday. If you want to get some yard work done, well, if you have to get some yard work done, maybe Saturday's the better day.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right. Want to spice up a feud? Yeah. Just accuse a head football coach of cheating.
Throw it right into the middle of the room and run. Yeah, this has escalated into now what is a personal feud between these two head coaches. And one used to be his boss. When we come back, we'll actually hear Nick Saban's cheating accusation fired at the Aggies. And you also hear Jimbo Fisher fire right back at Saban when we come back.
It's the second time we've had to do this with grown men who don't get their way and want to pout, throw a fit, and act up. Just go ask all the people who work for him. You'll know exactly what he's about. I always said this. My dad always told me this. When people show you who they are, believe them. He's showing you who he is.
Texas A&M head football coach Jimbo Fisher with a fiery rebuttal after Alabama head coach Nick Saban accuses the Aggies of cheating to win the best recruiting class in the nation. Jimbo Fisher was livid as he defended the Aggie football program, recruits, and their families after Nick Saban's cheating allegations were delivered last night. It came during a meeting with businessmen and women in Birmingham to promote what they are calling the World Games in July when he made the accusation during a 7-minute unsolicited rant about the new NIL rule.
We were second in recruiting last year. A&M was first. A&M bought every player on their team, made a deal for name, image, and likeness. All right, we didn't buy one player. All right, but I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain that in the future because more and more people are doing it.
That accusation sent Fisher into a rage in a hastily called news conference in College Station at 10 this morning, where he assured the Aggie faithful that they were playing by the rules while unleashing his anger on Saban.
Some people think they're God. Go dig into how God did his deal. You may find out about a guy that a lot of things you don't want to know. We built him up to be the czar of football. Go dig into his past, or anybody that's ever coached with him. You can find out anything you want to find out, what he does and how he does it. And it's despicable.
Remember, Fisher worked for Saban as his offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at LSU from 2000-2004, telling us he knows the Alabama coach pretty well.
You can call me anything you want to call me. You ain't calling me a cheat. I don't cheat and I don't lie. So I learned that when I was a kid. If you did, the old man slapped you side of the head. Maybe somebody should have slapped him. That's one thing you don't. Now you're fooling with their name. That don't. From Texas A&M's name, you're saying with those kids' name and our name. I'll put it with any of them.
Now, this is the second straight season there's been a dust-up between these two coaches after Fisher last season vowed that A&M would beat Bama, and they did it in a 41-38 upset over the then #1 ranked team in the country, becoming the first of Saban's former assistants to beat him. When asked about any future relationship with his former boss, all Fisher would say today, "We're done." Circle October the 8th. That will be the Texas A&M versus Alabama game in Bama.
In Alabama.
In Alabama, yes. Circle that date.
Okay.
We're ready for some football. We'll be right back.
I want to go fishing. Oh, it's been on my mind actually for a few weeks. It's that time of year.
Apparently you need to talk to Mark Austin.
Yeah, heck yeah. Count me in. So tomorrow, back to the century mark for many locations, especially west of 281 and south of Highway 90, Stone Oak 97, Helotes 95, Elmendorf, Von Army 100, along with Castroville and Hondo. Cooler by Sunday, increasing rain chances then and into Tuesday as well.
Thank you, Adam, and thank you for watching the News at 5.
We'll see you back here at 6. World News is next.